Hey everybody, I'm Marwazir and welcome back to Board Game Night with Cool18,
Hello.
Avak,
Hello.
and Shen.
Hola.
Bring a touch of a
Wow.
little bit of exotic there.
Excuse
Are
me.
we going back to each one of us picking a language and just going for it?
God, no, please.
That would get confusing very quickly.
A little
So
bit,
we
yeah.
left off after Hilo's turn, so now we're up to Chief.
Yes, indeed.
Have you drawn your
Now-
skill cards?
I have not drawn my skill cards yet. So this first turn, and probably the next, and the next, I will need a rundown of what I'm meant to do in the turn before it sticks. So the first thing I do at the beginning of my turn,
Draw your skill cards.
right, so, they're at the bottom, aren't they? Yes. And I draw basically all of the skills on my player. So 1 politics, 2 leadership, 2 engineering, yeah?
That's right.
Yep.
I draw them into my hand. And 2 engineering. Okay, now I've got loads of cards I've got to look at. Right, now I've drawn my skill cards. What's the next thing that I do?
You get
Next.
to move.
Yeah, you do a movement action,
Okay,
which you can
Do I
skip if you
have
want
to
to stay
move?
there. No.
okay. I'm going to zoom in on the board and actually see what these rooms are.
Yeah, the one downside is you can't mouse over a room and have it show.
Yeah, because I imagine the board is just literally a flat scan.
Would it be possible to make the board's rooms into cards? So that we can
I
mouse over
believe
them?
there is a thing that someone has done for that.
Oh, that'd be quite cool. Right. Can I move to any room on the Galactica?
Except for the
Or
ones in
just
yellow.
the... Ah, okay.
And you can
Although-
also move to the Colonial one if you would like.
But I'd have to discard something for that, wouldn't I?
That's right. Now, strong moves at this point are very likely to be things like you could go to command and activate up to 2 unmanned Vipers. Activating means moving them or
Right.
even launching them. And you can actually activate the summon one twice if you wanted to. Activating
Okay,
can
so I
also
can
cause the
move-
Vipers to shoot or to move or to do any other action like that. Weapons control is always fun. You could go to FTL and jump us right now, but it would be mighty dangerous.
Oh,
Right,
here's a
yeah,
question.
because there's a loss of 3 population if we fail, isn't there?
If we were to launch more ships and then we jumped, do the newly launched ships stay out after the jump?
No. The Vipers do not have FTL drives, so they cannot stay out. Actually, I goofed a little bit when going. We do actually have one assault, what do they call them? Raptor, which is the thing in
Raptors,
yellow.
Yeah.
This is special. It's a part of the expansion. The Assault Raptor counts as a Viper for everything. It is just a Viper. It is not a Raptor. It is a Viper. The exception is it has FTL drives, so it can stay out when we jump.
Okay.
Okay. So
And
if I went to
probably I should have launched
command,
that.
I could move that. Could I launch that? Because
Yeah.
it counts as a Viper? Right,
You
okay.
could absolutely do that. And it is a good point that Shen made that we are very close to jumping. And so maybe putting more ships out in space isn't the way to go. You could go to weapons
Yeah.
control and take a shot at, one of the raiders and try to kill it.
Is there a point in trying to shoot that
base
Battlestar? Base star, sorry.
It does take 3 damage to kill it.
Okay.
So
we're
it
probably
could
not
add
gonna
up.
be here for that long.
If we do jump, the base stars do repair when they're on the Cylon fleet board.
Right. Okay. So when we jump, it goes somewhere else, does it?
Yeah, if we're playing in the vanilla game, when we jump, we just remove it from the board. But we're playing with the Cylon fleet board expansion option. And when we jump, all the ships simply move to that board and they continue to accumulate. It serves an important purpose in that in the base game, the crisis cards, some of the crisis cards cause a bunch of Cylon ships to just appear and attack us. It's very dramatic and very exciting, but it can be super random. You could get 3 of them in the row, in which case the humans just lose, or you might not get any all game, in which case the humans have an easy game and the pilots have nothing to do. With the Cylon fleet board, they accumulate there, and they have a sort of a timed mechanic that we'll see when it comes up, and they will eventually jump back in on us. So it's a bit more predictable and balanced. But as a result, just scratching the paint on something doesn't do anything. We have to actively clear the board. We also don't want to ignore the ships. We need to clear them.
Okay. Well, given that, then I'm thinking it would be wise for me to move to the weapons control.
I think that's fair. I think there's a lot of good plays. I like the weapons control play. Nothing wrong with that.
So I just
Unless you
drag
had
that
a
over
skill
there?
card. You may have a skill card with an action you want to use. That's always an option too.
Ah, right. So that my skill cards, I can also use them right now in the movement phase, can I?
Well, you could, but no, you would skip the movement. You could move or
Right,
not move
okay.
and then use your action. But you could move to weapons control and then still use your action. I will note that if you are planning on using a repair card, which the Chief is particularly good at doing, if you want to repair Vipers, I believe you have to do it from the hangar deck. I can't remember because I don't have one.
Okay.
So just double check that first.
Do we have damaged?
We do
Vipers or
actually.
anything?
We have 4 Super Vipers that start the game damaged.
And do they get repaired like normal?
Yes. They just count as
Okay.
Vipers for everything. They just are slightly harder to damage in the future, and they move a little faster.
Right. Well, in that case, then I think that in order to build up for the sort of playing the long game, I'll use my repair action to repair 2 Vipers and repair 2 of the Super Vipers.
Okay.
How would I play this action?
Well, just throw it down on the table so we can mouse over and see it.
Okay. So, boom. There's my card.
And, okay, so you do have to be at hangar deck for that.
Which is where I am.
Okay, so that's good. So what you do is I'm going to take 2 of the damaged Vipers and just move them into the normal reserves.
Okay.
Now,
Brilliant.
because you're the Chief, when you play a repair card, you get to take another action after that.
Fantastic.
Does that mean he can move and then do something, or does that mean he has to stay where he is?
Well, to play that to repair the Vipers, he has to do it from the hangar deck.
Yeah.
So he sort of loses his movement.
Gotcha.
So the question is, do you have another action that you can do from the hangar deck?
Let's have a look.
That you want to do.
Now, bearing in mind that one of the things on my card is that I can only hold 8 cards in my hand instead of the regular 10.
Right.
Just count up my cards. Yes, I do believe I've got an option.
He's going to reveal his Cylon. After repairing the ships. He's very nice that way.
Yeah, I want to give you a fighting chance,
Yeah.
meatbags.
Oh my god.
But
Getting aggressive.
one of the... I've got one other question before I decide on which action I want to go for. Quorum cards. What are quorum cards? How are you mine for quorum cards?
The president starts with one,
Right.
and generally speaking, the president acquires more quorum cards and can play them.
Okay. Are they good things to have?
Yeah, they can do some pretty good stuff. Some of them allow you to upgrade morale. Some of them let you instantly brig someone.
Okay.
There's a variety of things.
They can be like super situational.
Yeah. Sometimes you get one, you're like, meh. And others, you're like, oh man, this is crazy.
Okay, well, thank you very much for filling that in. I think I'm going to play Consolidate Power. So I'll just pop that down on the board so you can see it.
Ah, yes.
And I can draw 2 skill cards, which won't put me over my 8 limit, so it'll be a useful thing to go for.
And they can be any card. They don't have to be the ones you're normally
Yeah,
allowed to
that's what I was thinking. I was going to ask, is there any particular deck which we're shy on at the moment as a group? That we're not going to have an easy time getting hold of?
Not really, I don't think so.
No? We've got a pretty good spread, actually. We've got engineering, politics, or rather leadership,
Yeah,
politics.
you're actually the only person with engineering. Other than that,
Yeah.
we're good. And actually, if Tori starts playing quorum cards, she can end up drawing anything she wants.
Right, okay.
Yeah, that's gonna be awkward.
You're going to get accused a lot.
And that's there's a treachery deck. What
There
on earth?
is.
I was just reading through them. I was like, what'll be used? Treachery? That doesn't sound like a good deck to have.
Yeah, so treachery is always, when it's added to a skill check, treachery cards are always bad.
Okay.
Always bad. And our Desk of Destiny actually has 2 treachery cards in it.
All right. Okay. So
So
Fair
if
enough.
you picked up a treachery card right now,
yeah,
it would be pretty sketchy.
yeah. I feel I might be stacking the odds against me. That wouldn't be so good. Let's go for. I think I'll go with tactics. So I'll draw that to hand, and I'll also pick up another engineering card.
Okay.
There we go.
Yeah. No, mixing up what colors are available to you are handy.
And is there anything else then for my turn?
We have to play a crisis.
Ah, yes.
So grab
Every
it and then
single
draw
player.
it to the little current crisis card.
Right, so
Every single player is going to bring us hardship.
Unless you're in the brig, in which case you do not draw crisis on your turn. But you also don't get to
So-
do anything else, really.
with the crisis card, do I just right-click on it and what?
You can
Draw to
just
hand?
drag it into the board.
All right, drag it onto the board. So I'll pop it on the current crisis. Boom. Giving it into despair. Ah,
Ooh.
So this is just a straight-up skill check. Difficulty 14, which is very high.
Yeah.
And only
okay.
2 colors are good for this. Politics and leadership. Which
Current
is bad.
player draws 3 treachery cards. That's pretty damn bad.
Wow.
Wow, yeah. So if you get a 14, nothing at all happens. If you get at least a 9, it's not a straight-up fail, although we still lose a food, and yeah, you get a crap ton of treachery cards.
Well, I could help with that quite a lot.
this
And
is
then
just not
fail
good.
is lose 2 morale, which is brutal. This is one of the worst crises I can imagine. This is
You know what
terrible.
really sucks about this? I mean, I could help a lot with 3 politics cards, but I haven't had my turn yet, so I don't have 3 politics cards.
Yeah. Oh man, I wish we could just bypass it completely, but I don't think we can.
so we're all going to be dropping into the skill check, yeah?
Yeah, so I'm going to add 2 cards from the deck of destiny.
Well, in theory, we can pick to lose to morale, but we probably don't want to.
And that's it. I mean, Tori is the first person to add cards, and it may very well be, if we don't think we can pass it, it might be worth not wasting any cards at all and just letting it fail. I will tell you, I pretty much can't help.
Yeah, I can help quite a bit, but I obviously can't just pass it on my own.
I feel I can help. Because how many cards can we put down?
As many as you want.
As many as you want.
I feel that I can help
Okay.
a great deal.
Okay.
Well,
Well,
then
if
it's
we
not-
don't get screwed by Destiny deck,
Yeah.
it might be doable.
Then
I,
I'd say
I'm not
can
going to be
help
able
a
to do
lot.
it on my own, but I can put quite a lot towards it.
then
I can
starting
help a lot, but that will involve probably using all of the relevant cards that I have.
All right, Tori, what are you going to do? Sounds like we're going to try to pass it.
I think I have a card that could really help, so I'm going to try.
Okay.
Okay, go for it.
Okay, who's
just-
up next?
I'm going to pass. I'm not going to add a card.
Okay.
I'm just reading
Since
one
I
card.
couldn't really help anyway, and it's better, I think, if I don't.
So the current player is Avak, right?
Yeah.
That's right.
Yes,
Chief Avak.
he's
Tiro.
known as Chief. Why
Am I
does
the
he
only
get a
one who-
nickname and Tori doesn't?
I know. I was going to say Tori's like the only one that doesn't have a nickname. You
'Cause
don't
you're
have
not a
any
military
friends.
person.
No, it's because you don't have friends. No one has gotten to know you
Aw.
enough to give you a nickname.
Of course, the president has friends.
Ah, how naive.
All right, Marb, what are you putting in?
Okay, I'm going to add 3 cards.
Okay. Now I've got
There,
cer-
that's it.
I've got certain cards that are. Damn! I'm just looking at this.
I mean, if you need to ask a specific question, go ahead. It's fine.
Well, I've got cards that say play after strength is totaled.
Right.
Does that mean I can play this card? It has to be played separately, not
That's
added
right.
to the skill. Okay.
That's right.
Right. Well, I'm going to just drop in 2 cards then. So, what was it? Move to skill check. And move to skill check. Okay. I may be overkilling this massively, but I really don't want those treasury cards.
Can I add 1 more card, or is it too late?
You're not supposed to, because
it's
what
fine,
you
it's
might
fine.
have
I
done
won't
would
then.
affect something else. Okay.
Okay, it's fine.
If
I
we're
won't.
talking about this being overkill, I wouldn't really worry about it.
Let's find out.
Well, the previous time we also said it's overkill.
Yeah,
I
that
know,
is
but
true.
You're gonna like the 1 card that I added.
Okay, we are at +7. That's a skill check thing, so we'll leave that aside for now. Wow, we are now at +11. Wow. +16. +18. plus 20.
my lord.
23. And what does Iron Will do? If the total... Oh, this is quite good, actually. Yeah.
I
If
thought you
the
might like
total
that.
strength in this skill check is within 4 of the difficulty, do not trigger the fail effect. If total
that's
strength in
quite
this
cool.
skill check is 0, is less, lose 1 round. That's right. So, if we'd lost, but only by 4 or less, Iron Will would have protected us. As is, it
That's
doesn't do
actually
anything
quite
for
cool.
us.
That's quite cool.
Yeah,
Now,
as
if
it is,
anyone's
we-
one, oh, go ahead.
As it is, we burned 6 of our cards. We
Yeah.
didn't need to.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was massive overkill.
Yeah, but we didn't
But
know the deck in
that's
Destiny
how
was
it
going to help.
was.
It could have gone and giving us like a -3 and a -4.
Yeah,
And free
Yeah, that's
treachery
true.
cards would be really bad.
That could be annoying. So these go away. So we pass the check, which does no effect. We now have to activate Heavy Raiders. That's what that symbol is now. There's no Heavy Raider on the board, so they don't activate. Instead, the base star will launch one. So the Heavy
okay.
Raiders, these are invasion ships. They will make their way to the bottom of the board where we have our 2 little launch icons, and then they will board the Galactica, and we'll have a Cylon Raider boarding party on the ship. And there's a little boarding party track just under the jump prep. If the boarding party gets to the end of the boarding party track, then we just lose. Game over.
And
I
it's
don't
very
like
hard
this.
to get rid of them.
I
Yeah.
appear to be the only person alive on the ship.
The rest of us are like, screw this.
I don't approve of it.
Then the
I'm
final
gonna
thing to
take-
do on the card is advanced jump prep. Boop. We're
There
now
we
at
go.
-1.
Now, since I'm on, what's this called? The new Caprica?
No, that's Colonial 1.
Colonial 1. Since I'm on Colonial 1, I can't do the jump thing because I'm not on the right ship.
That's right. You could move there. It would require you to discard a skill card. But you
this
could
is
do it.
This is where Marbozier's double jump preparation bonus kind of sucks because I can't. Like, if we want to jump, I got to move ships, which means I
That's
got to
right.
discard something.
It wasn't
That's
my
sucks.
bonus, it was from the crisis. Don't
I
you
mean-
I know, I
worry.
know.
You could simply not do anything, and then we'll hope that the crisis will jump us automatically on your turn. Alternatively, on my turn, I could leave my Viper and then go into the FTL control.
Well, what
I mean,
happens? at
this
the-
is a pretty good problem to have, let's just say.
Oh yeah, I know. But if my turn goes to the end and it's time to do the jump prep advance, it just automatically jumps, right?
That's right. One
So why
more
don't we just
jump
do that?
prep, and it will auto-advance. Well, because there
just do
might
that.
not be one on the card.
Oh,
Yeah.
I hadn't even considered that. So what do you guys think? Would it be more advantageous to go for FTL now?
I mean, we don't really have to. We're not being threatened by anything.
That is true. We can, like, there's literally the only thing that could happen this turn that would be annoying with the Cylons around us was if the Cylons fired missiles. Because if we don't jump and they do fire missiles, then we might take some damage. On the other hand, if you do jump us now and then the missile card comes up on the crisis, it'll actually just spawn another base star on the Cylon fleet board. So in a sense, it actually might be better to take a missile hit rather than spawn another base star.
Yeah. And if we get a crisis that doesn't advance the jump track, then the next person can jump us.
That's right. So
Maybe.
I think you can probably do your quorum chamber wizardry.
All right, so let's do some quorum shenanigans. So I just move my icon over.
Yeah.
So in the quorum chamber, how does this work?
So as your action, you will activate the location. Step 1 is, if you are the president, and you are, draw 1 quorum card. So that's in the cards section. There you go.
Okay.
Now, you may then either draw another quorum card, or instead, you can play a quorum card from your hand. So do you want to play a quorum card now? If yes, do it. If no, draw another quorum card. Keeping in mind, if you do play a quorum card, you'll get to draw 2 skill cards because you're Tori Foster.
Oh, I forgot to take my skill cards at the start of the turn. Let me do that.
Ah, that's important too.
Completely getting wrapped up in all the other stuff to do.
And keep in mind things like hand limit. I mean, you only have to discard at the end of the turn, and you might want to use cards in a skill check. So even if you do stuff that puts you over 10, it's not the end of the world.
So you mentioned the Cylons launching missiles. What's the mechanic behind that? How does it trigger? What happens with it?
So the crisis cards at the bottom left corner, one of the things that can be there is it says it'll have like an icon of the base star launching missiles. The base star will do a roll of the 8-sided die against the Galactica, and if it rolls I can't remember, like a 5 or more, it'll be in the rules, the sheet, then it'll damage Galactica. We draw a random damage token and apply it.
Okay.
But yeah, they have to roll.
I have 4 of the same card. So annoying.
Of the same quorum card?
No, the same skill card.
Oh, the same skill card. Okay.
So I'm at 9 cards right now. If I draw a second quorum card, that'll put me at 10, which is the limit.
It's 10
That's only
skill
for
cards.
Oh,
Yeah.
skill cards. Okay, gotcha. Thank you.
I don't think there's a limit on the quorum.
All right, so to play an action from a skill card, do I just right-click on it?
Well,
or
you
was
can't.
that my action to draw a quorum card?
Your action was to draw a quorum card.
So I have to. Okay, I'll just draw another quorum card.
Okay, that's fire. And then you'll do your crisis. I will note that one of the most powerful things you can do on your turn is use executive orders on another player. Executive orders is a leadership card. You target another player, and they just instantly get 2 actions. It's still your turn, but they get to take 2 actions, which means you're turning your 1 action into someone else's 2 actions. It's very, very powerful. Obviously, you do have to trust the target a fair bit.
Do they get to do that on your turn?
Well,
That is, they take their actions.
On your turn. So if I was playing it, for example, it's my turn. I play executive orders targeting you. It's still my turn, but you would get to take 2 actions, or a move and an action. You get your choice.
That is actually quite a powerful card. Then,
You can't use it on yourself, right?
No, you can't use it on yourself. There is another
I ordered
card.
myself to do this.
There is another card that effectively lets you do that. I'm not sure if it's in our card pool or not. I can't remember what it's called, but it basically is, instead of taking a movement, you just take another action.
I mean, maybe the president has split personality.
So, question on the crisis cards: do I just right-click on it and take it in my hand and then put it on the board?
No, I think you can just drag it to the board.
drag it onto the
Yeah, you
board.
can just drag it.
And it'll auto flip it. And there's a little slot, little purple slot on the right side of the board. I mean, it doesn't matter, but it has a spot. So
I gotta zoom out to do that.
Interesting.
Oh,
Huh.
traitor accused. So current player chooses. Either
Solid.
you can just discard 5 skill cards, or we can do a skill check. An easy
Well-
skill check. If we pass no effect, fail, you have to brig someone.
I can't help with the skill check at all.
Effectively,
There's
me
nothing I
either.
can do.
Technically, I
It's the
could
same-
help a little,
it's
but
the
it's
same
not
colors
worth
as
it.
the last skill check. That's
Yeah.
why.
Yeah.
Listen, Madam President, I think for the good of the colonies, you might have to take a hit here.
Just discard all of my skill cards.
Well, it does suck. Here's the question: is to pass this, are we going to burn close-ish to 5 skill cards to guarantee success? I mean, it's only an 8, but a lot of us can't help.
And keep in mind, the Destiny deck won't be as friendly
Exactly.
forever as
True.
the previous 2 times.
I can't guarantee being able to help much at all.
All right,
By
I
the
guess I'm
sounds of
getting
it.
rid of 5 cards.
I mean, it may not be the best play, but honestly, how many, like, we may be able to get away with, like, 3 skill cards and pass.
Yeah,
Or we
and
might
if
throw
we
3
fail-
skill cards and fail, yeah.
Would
Yeah,
you guys
if we
really
fail, you will
mind the
have to
brig?
pick
It's
a
not that
character
bad
to go
in
to the
there.
brig.
I'm
What is the
claustrophobic.
brig? What is the mechanic of the brig?
So if you're in the brig, on your turn, you draw your cards like normal, but you can't move. And while you're in the brig, you can only add 1 card to the skill check. What you can do in the brig, you can activate the brig location to try to break out, in which case the rest of us can help or hinder the breakout attempt.
And that's another skill check, and you have to use cards for that.
Exactly.
Okay.
And meanwhile, you can't really help things.
All right, I'm just going to discard 5.
Yay.
All right, the president's certainly not acting like a Cylon.
That's what I was going to say. It would be just the cunning sort of double logic of a machine to do something like this to make us think it wasn't a machine.
Well, and there's that play. It would be a very powerful Cylon play to pick the first one, and intentionally spike the check to guarantee that it fails, and then brig someone else. Nice thing about this game is if you're the Cylon, you know no one else is the Cylon. There's only 1 Cylon card in there.
That's true.
Okay, so I discarded 5, and it's time to activate the Raiders.
Okay.
That's right. So they will simply move clockwise towards the closest civilian ship, which is there, and that's it. That's all they do.
And we advance jump prep.
We do. I'm going to increase
And we
it.
jump automatically.
What about the heavy raider? Does that
He's got a
that
separate
doesn't move.
icon.
that doesn't move unless it's a specific card, isn't it?
That's right.
Yep.
Specific icon, yeah. Right. Okay.
That way, it's really hard to get boarded.
Yay.
So now that we've jumped, the Cylon ships will all move to the Cylon fleet board, where they will attempt to track us down in the future. Okay. So they've just moved to the separate board. All of the Vipers go back to reserves. And that means I make an appearance on the hangar deck. Hey, Chief, how's it going?
Yo. Man, it's been ages since you've been out there gallivanting around.
That's true.
What happened to the civilians?
This one civilian ship that's back there is still there. They have followed
Okay.
us.
Right.
When
okay.
we ignite our engines, that civilian ship gets blown up.
That's what I was thinking. You know, it's a very unfortunate place to be.
Seems legit. Okay, so now it's back up to me. So I'll draw my cards.
That first jump went really well.
Yeah, that was
entire cycle of all 4 turns was pretty good.
Incredibly good. Draw, and...
Although we did waste 6 cards on that last check, and then I had to throw 5 away. So
Yeah, that was pretty brutal, honestly.
Wait, did you advance the jump prep, or did that crisis not have one?
It did advance the jump prep. It actually cycled around to the start. It advanced to the auto jump. So we jumped, it reset this, cleared the board.
Yeah.
There's no enemies about, which is great.
Oh yeah, where do you see how far we are in total progress?
So since we auto jumped, shouldn't we pick destination?
That's absolutely right. The Admiral Hilo draws 2 destination cards
That's me.
privately to your hand, and then you pick one for us to pick. Generally speaking, it is vital to pick the biggest jump distance. If you are pro-human, you want the biggest distance possible.
Of course I'm pro-human.
Every now and again, there may be a reason not to, but
Have a look.
it's pretty inconceivable.
trust you.
And I'm
Especially
not
if we have
supposed to
fuel.
tell you what these are. Just pick one.
That's right. You pick one, goes to the bottom of the deck, so we'll never know what it is.
Huh. Well, but I can vaguely tell you what they are, right?
I suppose, yeah.
Well, they both involve some kind of loss. Let's just say.
Well, you almost
One
always
can
lose
jump
fuel
further
no
than
matter
the
what.
other. Yeah, one can jump further than the other, but they both involve some kind of loss.
Well, again, if I'm a human admiral, I'm almost always pick the highest distance. Because we really have a limited amount of time before the Cylons kill us, or just the game by itself kills us.
One of them is safe but worse, the other one is less safe but better.
Right.
Let's just say. Alright, so I'm
But
going
if we
to
can go
dump
farther-
this. So I need to return it to the bottom of the deck, right?
Yeah,
The one I don't want to use.
that's right.
Okay, so we're going to go for the asteroid field.
Oh, what are the odds of navigating an asteroid field?
Never tell me the odds. So we lose 2 fuel,
Yeah,
We
so I'll go ahead and
free,
do that.
and then we draw 1 civilian ship.
Draw one
and-
civilian ship and destroy it. Okay.
Yep,
So I will take one off the stack, flip
that
it,
was the gamble part.
and we lose 1 unit of population. Some of the civilian ships don't lose anything, but that's not too bad.
I
They
think that was worth
sacrificed
it.
themselves. It was honorable. Their names will be remembered, etc., etc.
I think that was worth it.
I'm perfectly happy moving 3 at the cost of a population.
We need
And
to get
I
to
think-
8 to win, don't we? Or rather,
And
8
I think
and
the
then jump.
general rule is that anything that's better than 1-to-1 efficiency is good.
Yeah,
Oh yeah, definitely.
because we start with 8 fuel. So
What's the farthest you can move with 1 jump?
I think it might be 3.
Well, there you go. So we're
So,
pretty
should we
convinced
make a
that-
cut now? I think we
Yeah.
should.
Yeah.
Yeah. There you go.
was a
Completed
really
our first jump,
successful first
everyone.
turn.
And remember to do a destination card, which we often forget to do. So it's awesome.
So thanks for watching, everyone.
See you next time, folks.
Bye-bye.
See you next time.
Take care.